Basically, all the brands look like this. So in this particular market, you've got Dolmio, Raguletto, and Bertolli. And what you'll see is every brand has a high amount of non-users in a year, very high amount of one-time users, two-time users, three-time, and then it starts to decline like that. And they all have the same shape. All the same shape. Any category you look at, any brand will look the same. The difference between those three is the bigger brand is Dolmio, and so has a flatter curve. It has less non-time users, has more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Raguletto, Bertolli have lower penetration levels, they have higher zero users. And basically, as a brand grows, it moves from right to left, and as a brand declines, it moves from left to right. Repeatable over and over and over again. It's repeatable if you look at Royal Canin in France, if you look at Extra in UK, if you look at Snickers in Germany, it's repeatable. So you see this over and over and over again. This shape has an enormous consequence to how we think about growth and why reach becomes very, very important. What you don't ever see, ever, is a brand that looks like this, with a lot of loyal users up one end, etc., and you've got different shape curves, etc. You always get the same shape curve. Empirical observation over billions of data points see that this is a repeatable pattern of growth. This is as important an insight is to understand about bacteria and germ theory. We really need to reach a lot of people if we're going to grow. And there's a lot of people not using our brands out there. So there's a lot of growth left in the existing portfolio we have, and that's a big insight as well. So we're going to explore a little bit more about that. But this insight gave us 3 discoveries, and what we call, and what we've branded internally is our marketing laws of growth. And the first discovery was that brands are substitutable. Simply because you don't have a lot of people buying heavy amounts. You've got a lot of people buying light users. So brands are substitutable. And what do we mean by that? There is loyalty, but people are loyal to a repertoire of brands. They're not loyal to a single brand. And actually, if you look at loyalty, and if you find people who are 100% loyal to your brand, they are going to be very light users of the category. Because if I only bought the category once this year, I'm 100% loyal. But what we see in every single category we look at is the more opportunity you have to purchase, the more frequently you purchase, the more competition, the bigger the repertoire you'll go. Yes, you'll peak out at a certain point. And this is very important. And the way I describe this for the, hands up if you're a soccer or football follower in here. A good amount of people in here. The way I talk about this is the Cesc Fabregas effect. And the Cesc Fabregas is a Spanish footballer. At the last World Cup, he was Arsenal football captain. So this guy's an incredibly good footballer. Any Arsenal supporters in here? Good. Oh, one, Clarky. He's no longer with Arsenal, but he was an incredibly good footballer. When you looked at the World Cup, and Spain won the last World Cup, he played 7 out of 11 games. But he started all 7 of those games on the bench. He wasn't in the starting lineup. And I want you to think about our consumers as the Spanish football coach. They have a wonderful array of brands that they're happy to substitute. Yes, they have a preferred starting lineup, but they're quite happy to bring Cesc Fabregas on and play. And that's how our consumers play with our brands. They have a repertoire of brands, they have a preferred one, but they will substitute back and forth, and they see them as perfectly substitutable. And so that's the challenge we have to think about. How do we get more game time for our brands with our consumers, and how do we get our brands off the bench and onto the starting lineup? But recognize that people will substitute in and out. So remember that Cesc Fabregas effect.